what up, mi gente? It's your boy Almega. Welcome to a brand new comic Crusaders special. And today, my man Chris, you know Chris, Mr. Woo Z from the Crackle Network over here, hooked me up with an amazing creator that has a dope show that we spoke about. If you watched, you better have, folks, on that Crackle special we did, for what's hot this month. And it's called Cossacks, the Cossacks. And today we have the producer, the director. Not just that, but I mean, she's done quite a few things. She's been in there all the way from Ukraine, the one, the only, the very talented Oksana Ivanyuk. Epa, how you doing?
Hello, nice meeting you.
Likewise, thank you for coming on. Hopefully it's not too late for you out there. So I'll try not to take too much of your time so you get your rest, so that way you get that brain working on your next big project.
Thank you.
All right, so let's do this. So again, thank you for coming on, and I have to ask here because you do multiple things. So what actually inspired all that? What inspired you to become a film producer, a director? How did you even start?
Well, let me correct you a little bit. I'm not the director. I'm the screenwriter and the producer of the show.
Okay, screenwriter and producer.
Showrunner, yeah. And some time ago, like quite a long time ago, I just realized that I'm very fond of movies. I just, what do you enjoy most in your life? Just watch movies. That's it. And then you realize that, how do you want to make money? Probably doing what you enjoy the most. And little by little you start to just switch to the activities that you like, and your relatives and your husband will start to call you, well, why are you watching this series, or why are you watching this movie? You just it looks like a spending of a time of a lazy person. And and my excuse was that it's my job. That's my job. That's what I want to do in this life.
Hey, you're researching. That's what you're doing. You're sitting there and you're researching. How dare
Exactly. I'm learning from the best.
Yeah. Is there a particular film, movie, or TV show that basically that awakened you? Was there any particular show that awakened you? That was the one that you said, wow, that because of this TV, movie, show, whatever, is why I want to do what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Well, it's a tough question. So I it's really tough because the first movies that come to my mind are Ukrainian movies, and your viewers probably don't know about them, never heard about them. So okay. I'm trying to think about some really like from that were produced in America.
Okay.
And let me think. Going back in time, what could be that?
But you know what? Put us on to those Ukrainian movies. We need to learn over here. What are you talking about? You know what?
I'm talking about
America. We're not the only one that makes movies. So you know what? And I'm starting to find myself enjoying a lot of more foreign stuff. Like I have an Australian team member, and there was a point in time that I was watching more Australian TV shows than him. So we're hungry for it over here. So talk to me. So what was the movie about?
It's called Mamai. It's filmed by a Ukrainian filmmaker and the director Sanin, and it is beautiful. It's absolutely astonishing, and it was filmed using a very particular technology that was later sold worldwide. The person who actually invented that tool, he's Ukrainian, and you put it on a car. It's like a holder, and it helps you to keep the balance. So it was created by a Ukrainian, and it was first used on that particular movie called
Really?
Yes.
I love this movie history, folks. You hear this? I'm happy I asked. You see?
Talking about international projects, you know, uh, some well, quite a long time ago, I was very fond of Jeeves and Wooster, and that's what inspired me tremendously. And just a few weeks, maybe a week ago, Stephen Fry was in Kiev, in Ukraine, and he was a presenter at the forum here. And in his Instagram, he posted quite a few pictures and notes from his trip to Ukraine. So it was exciting, and he's the star of my childhood. And later on, I was very fond of his novels. So he's British, he's not American, but still,
Yeah.
that's something very important in my personal life.
Excellent. All right. So let me ask you. So being in the Ukraine, and how easy was it to get into their Hollywood version of the market? Was it easy? How did you navigate that there? What's Hollywood in Ukraine?
Well, uh, in Ukraine, there was a situation in the very beginning of 90s when film industry died completely. Soviet
Why?
Union fell apart, and all the specialists that were either located in Moscow or they moved to Moscow.
Okay.
And in 90s, it was like nothing happened here, nothing at all. And television started to pop up. Some private channels started to develop, and little by little, in the beginning of 2000 of this century, Ukrainian specialists started to return to Ukraine. And at that time, I went to Moscow, and there I went to a very good film school. And my curator of my course was Alexander Radnyansky, a very famous Jewish Ukrainian producer who later worked for on a number of US projects. And he's absolutely fantastic. So I went through training there, came back, and I was and established a production company in 2011. And since that time, we started to produce TV series first, then feature films, documentary films. One of our documentary films called Ply last year received like dozens of international awards. On festivals.
How does that feel, Oksana? This little, from a little girl to a married woman, where you were being questioned, why are you watching so much TV, to winning awards for this, for that, now being on the TV and more. How do you feel?
Well, I'm extremely happy that our Cossacks will get American viewers and will get more viewers, because that's the most important. That's the most important, for people to see what we are doing.
Well, I'm loving it. You know what? You dropped the name. I love it. That sounds like an alarm to me, because folks, we have a treat for you, because this is what Chris do over here. He hooked us up with a trailer, and baby, that's right, we have it here. So before we get into this amazing shows and talking about how Oksana pulled it and made it and her amazing crew, let's get a peep of it right now.
I'm Ivan Avcharenko. When I was 13, the Turks attacked and captured my poor mother.
I'm here about my mum. To get your mother out of Turkish captivity, you need a lot of money, which you don't have.
When you get me the orb, I'll pay you then. Get in here.
Aye, 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 look at that.
So happy to see you guys. Let's skip the hugs and get down to business.
You're a dead man.
Yeah! By the way, I'm Ivan. Pleasure to meet you.
Find that idiot.
Put the gun away and let's be nice.
A tiny little kiss is all I want from you. You know what they say, the longer the Cossack sword is, the shorter his you-know-what is. Well, boys, you've got a bit of a smart ass here. Well, I don't know what people call you these days, but I'm Ivan.
Woo! That's right, folks. That's available now on Crackle for free. That's right. You know how they do it. So, Oksana, let's get into it. What was the birth of the story behind Cossacks?
Well, some stories you make for money, but this one was conceived in love. So we just, we are very fond of Cossacks as an actual phenomenon. For Ukraine, it was a very important period of our history, because at that time we had democratic republic in our country, and that's true. Yeah, that's a true fact.
Yeah.
The head of the country was elected. And before we were occupied by Russia, at that time, before we signed a treaty with Russian Tsar, it was a very blossoming country. We had 100% literacy in this country, because all kids in 16th century had to go to church schools and had to learn how to read and write. Women had very powerful social roles. For example, we have a number of folklore songs now saying like, women are at the marketplace selling their husbands because they are lazy. I brought my husband to the marketplace and nobody wanted to buy him. So I felt sorry for him and decided not to sell him.
Oh, man.
And stuff like that. And it's a part of the national Ukrainian folklore. So, we want, in this show, we wanted to expose these social roles of female characters, that they do not cry, they are not afraid. They take weapons and they fight. And they have their very strong storylines, and they don't follow male storylines. They have their own program, their own goals. And our main characters, we wanted to make them complicated, to resemble ourselves. We wanted to show who we are today. Yeah, and whom we want, how we envision us tomorrow. Because what television does, it forms images and expectations. We invent ourselves. We invent us, whom we want to be tomorrow. So this series and these Cossacks, who are characters of our show, they are Ukrainians, they are us. We want to tell a story about us as a nation.
I love it. So, and was this film completely in the Ukraine? And how did you even cast? I mean, were you involved in that process?
Very much so, yes.
Okay.
When we wrote the script, we had Yuri Dyak, the person who played the main character, in mind, and we invited him. The TV channel was not sure about this actor, so it took us about 4 months to persuade them. So Yuri had to go through training to the gym, and we were doing like rounds of castings. And
so basically, he couldn't be a lazy husband, right?
Yeah. The other character, Mariana, who plays the lead female role, I've learned about her by chance. My son had a New Year celebration together with her in the same company. And she persuaded him to go to his girlfriend to bring her flowers and to tell her that he loves her.
Hey.
So this Mila Sivatskaya, he played a significant role in his life. And then he told me, listen, there is this wonderful actress. We've been trying actresses for months. But when Mila came, it was nothing personal. She just was a perfect fit. So we've got our Mariana. Wonderful, beautiful Mariana.
Well, fine. There we go. There we go. So, and this is a 12-episode series, right? I mean, what was it always intended to be that? Was it anything prior? Did you try this out prior, or did you always have the intention to make this a long form, like series? And does it end here really?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Hey!
We, in the very beginning of full-scale invasion, on February 25th, we actually had to have a pre-production meeting of the second season. We canceled it because part of the group took their families to Western Ukraine, and some people were just hiding in the shelters, and Kyiv was heavily bombed. So we canceled the meeting, unfortunately, and we canceled
I hope so. You look out the window, you see a couple of things coming through. I think, all right, folks, I think we gotta go.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we looked into the window with my husband, and we saw explosions.
What?
We were, yeah, you can.
So you saw that with your very eyes, not even no TV. You saw you experiencing that and saw it.
Right.
And
we were discussing okay, shall you go to work? Well, I cannot get to the left bank of Kyiv because all bridges are blocked. So probably not today. So what shall we do? Shall we cancel all the meetings? Well, probably yes. And, there was this expectation of war in the air.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to believe that it will happen.
Of course, who does? Nobody wants to believe that. That should be only in the movies.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we continue to try funding for the second season. The first season was funded partially by a commercial TV channel and partially by the Ministry of Culture of Ukraine. But now, when we're in the
wait a minute. Talk to me about that. The Ministry of Culture. So how does that work? I mean, because I have a friend in Ireland, and he kind of had a same thing. He wanted to do a publishing company, and the ministry or whomever, kind of the state, if you will, helped them produce that. So how does that even work out there?
Well, it happens when at the governmental level, they have a part of the budget assigned for cultural purposes, for movies specifically. And then the Ministry of Culture, in our case, announces pitching. You participate in that pitching. You provide all the details about your project. And then you take part in a highly competitive competition.
Oh, okay. You can't just put a form in there. You got to talk about it and sell it. So it's like Shark Tank.
Yeah, so no corruption there, because you will see it on TV in a year or two.
Love that.
Yeah. So we got 50% from the Ministry of Culture, but unfortunately now, when we're in the state of war, we cannot rely on that budget for obvious reasons, And we are looking for funds all over the world. We are applying to different funds. But this particular project is quite expensive. We have horses, we have costumes, we have stunts. So it's not as easy as some indie film.
You have jewels, those diamonds, and
we have magic, that costs a lot.
A lot of it. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, what was other than that, did you read comic books or something back in the day as well? Because to incorporate so many things like that, it reminds me of comic books, those swashbuckler type of comic books as well. And then it also has a feel of a Robin Hood as well. I was digging that. I was peeping that first episode, and it's funny. Ivan is hysterical.
You know, we wrote 3 episodes, and one we decided to think about the magical heirloom. We thought that, well, you know, we're at the point when we need to invent that legend.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's spend a couple of weeks and think about mythology a little bit.
So talk about your approach to storytelling and production. You know what I mean? For the Cossacks compared to anything you've done prior. You know, did you change your approach?
Very much so. Yes, it was very time and effort consuming. Our casting lasted for 5 or 6 months, and usually it's just a couple of months. We started to work on costumes like probably 6 months before the filming.
Oh wow!
Because we needed to actually sew a lot of costumes for extras as well.
Oh my goodness!
And our actors, they had to go through training. They learned how to ride horses and how to do stunts. And most of the stunts are performed by actors themselves. And that's what they wanted to do. It was their way. You know, and sometimes when a stunt was particularly difficult, we were like, you know, let's call a specialist.
Yeah,
and
insurance.
Our
you know what I mean?
our Nazar was telling, no, I want to have a close-up doing that stunt. No, I'll do it myself.
Right.
So,
Now,
yeah.
I love that. I love that. So talk about that though, because again, I'm not making movies. So where does that budget come from? Does that come from that budget from the ministry and everything else that you collect to train the actors and all during the process? That's all together, or is that something separate even?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I didn't quite get that.
All right. So you're saying how the ministry, when you got the funds to create the movie, right? So that budget, and within that budget, just out of curiosity, is that where do you set aside funds to help the actors train, like you were talking about? Oh, okay, cool. So that's all included. So they get in there, they're gonna get trained, and they don't. That's part of the budget. Oh, okay, dig it.
Yes. So we look at the script and we see that these, let's say, 10 actors, they need to know how to ride horses. Okay. So let's send them to training. They need at least 10 classes, and we need to assign money for that. Or, for example, Ivan and Nazar, they were very fond of those trainings, and they've learned how to do some really difficult stunts, and they were sincerely enjoying doing those stunts. So it was their own choice, oh, we can do that. Let's go. Let us have a few extra classes, and we'll do it by ourselves.
Oh, nice. So they kick extra. You inspired them. Look at that. That's awesome. So all right. So we have hopefully a second season coming. We got this wonderful first season here. But I gotta ask, because you did say, and we all know, the world knows what's going on out there in the Ukraine. And given that current situation, are any of the stars, from the show actively involved in supporting and participating in the war efforts right now?
Yes. Almost everybody.
What?
We have a number of actors who are actually fighting at the front line. And we have our pyrotechnic was killed in May 22 at the front line. Alexander Suvorov. A lot of our actors, they participate as volunteers. So they do help a lot. Like, for example, Andrei Isaenko, who played Nazar, he runs a foundation where he collects money and they buy vehicles for different military units.
Wow.
And you know, everybody is really, you cannot, now in Ukraine, you cannot stay aside.
Yeah.
You have no choice. You are willing to participate because that's our.
Yeah, you know, it either do or die at this situation. Well, my heart goes out to all you guys fighting out there, and to all those amazingly talented people. I'm so sorry about the loss of one of your team members. That must feel horrible, you know. But you know, bless everyone out there, you know, and hope everybody returns home safely and that this stuff is over real soon. I mean, the world needs to heal, man. We need to stop this nonsense. We all living on one planet. Please, aliens, come, because everybody's gonna come together.
You know, on that note, I want to thank American taxpayers, because you know, we are very, very thankful today. You do help us, you know, and it's not that if America were not helping Ukraine, we would, you know, be a part of Russian world. No, it just about that we won't be alive. You know,
Yeah.
so we are really, really thankful for your support. It's, you know, something really important for our country.
Well,
And our
well, the whole world should be like that, Oksana, in my opinion, to help one another. You know, it should be just be peace and love and, you know, and progression. Like, look what you said. Back in the 100%, you know, literacy. Imagine if we were able to obtain that worldwide. You know, but why won't they let us? You know what I mean? Questions to be asked. But that's a different type of podcast. I don't want to get so. I'll get into it real quick, baby. Anyway, so you know, being where you're at, the things you've gone through, the stuff you're going through now, even. I mean, what type of advice would you even give to aspiring filmmakers? You know, not just here in the United States, but even there in the Ukraine that may be watching and listening. You know, looking to make their mark in the industry. You know, worldwide.
You know, when you are living in a situation when your city is bombarded almost every day, you get this feeling. You might be killed today, not even tomorrow, but today. You're getting used to this feeling. But you start thinking that, you know, you don't have much time. Do what you are created for. Just don't waste time on making money or doing some shitty stuff. You know, do something meaningful, something, express yourself. You know, you need to make a footprint in this world. Just change it.
I love that. And folks, I did promise us an exclusive little clip, right? You think I forgot? Of course not. You know, I wanted to inspire you because you're going to see what inspired her right now. Now, check out this cool little clip before we go today, you know, straight from the show. Peep.
Bogdan! Oh! Bogdan! Oh!
Forgive me, Tsar, for Christ's sakes! Don't hit me! My left eye is glass! You cut your hand!
Bogdan, I'm not going to hit you.
Promise me!
I'll smack you!
You promised!
Where's Mariana?
In the kitchen!
I'm sorry, my beautiful one. I regret that, I don't have any money, sweetheart. But for you, it's even better. From now on, I owe you.
Good work, Tsar!
Ask for anything, I'll do whatever you desire. Let me demonstrate my virtues. And I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Mariana?
Please, sir, you're interrupting.
Get your hands off. Nazar, what's happening out there?
We are going.
Wait, Nazar!
Yes. No, Nazar, stop. Yes. Listen to Mariana. By the way, I'm Ivan. Pleasure to meet you.
Boys, stop it!
Come on now, folks. That had to put a smile on your face. And that's one of my friend's dreams right there. Shout out to Chris Rose. He wants to have a bar fight just like that.
Yeah, so please go to Crackle and watch Cossacks.
That's
You will
right.
enjoy it.
Absolutely, they will, because Crackle is the home to get some amazing free streaming. You can check it out right there. You'll get, the app, visit the website. I mean, you got it for your TV too. And again, it is free. A 12-episode amazing series by this wonderful young lady right here, Oksana Ivanyuk. Telling you, once that war is over, there's going to be even more stuff coming from Oksana, I'm sure, right? So, Oksana, can you give us a tease if there any other project outside of the Cossacks that you could tease that you may be working on?
Yes, we are working on a number of projects. One is called Diggers of the Sun. It's 10-episode series, and it's about amber diggers. So we have amber in Ukraine, and people dig it and smuggle it to Poland.
Oh, what?
So it's a partially criminal, partially mystical story. And in order to develop it, we've got a highly competitive grant from Netflix. So we are in the process of writing the script. Another stories that we really, very fond of is about, it's a myth. It's a big myth.
Okay.
And it grows from Ukrainian mythology.
Okay.
From Ukrainian folklore and Ukrainian mythology. It has a lot of action and mystery and adventure. And, in order to start working on this project, we were, we were to a huge extent inspired by Vikings, the series that sold, modern haircuts and northern mythology to the world, and so we very much hope that it will be something big and meaningful. So for us, it is a very, very important investment.
Yeah, I cannot wait, Oksana. I mean, it seems you definitely know where you want to go, and that's so important, because you're also an entrepreneur in doing all this. So, having that direction is so key, and that strength, and that vision. So I salute you, bless you and your team out there. Please stay safe, because, the world needs more Oksana Ivanyuk in the world. Come on. Bring that goodness. Everybody better be checking out the Cossacks. It's right there on Crackle. Again, it's ready for you guys. It's the weekend. You know what to do. Lay back, relax, and tune in for that free TV. Get that popcorn going. And telling you, this is going to put a smile to your face. A wonderful array of actors. I mean, ensemble cast, produced, screenwritten, by a wonderful person, directed by amazing people. And all the way from the Ukraine, that's awesome. Other side of the world stuff. That, listen, we have a strike here, so we need all the content we could get.
Yeah.
Start watching. And with that, thank you, Oksana. I appreciate your time today. You. A big shout out to my man, Mr. Chris Z from Crackle for taking care of me over here and giving me and blessing me with this wonderful opportunity to speak to a talented lady. So again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow ComicCrusaders.com, undercovercape.com. You know what it is. Hasta la próxima. Much love.
Thank you so very much.
Bye.
Bye.